Emily stood at the edge of the bridge, gazing at the dark river below. The wind gently blew, carrying with it the rustling of leaves that seemed to whisper in the quiet night. The air was thick with fog, and the distant street lamps cast long, faint shadows across the weathered stone. The world around her felt heavy, as if the weight of her thoughts was too much to bear. She felt lost, uncertain, and alone. For months she had been trapped in her own feelings of despair. Every day seemed like a struggle, and each step felt heavier than the last. But tonight, as she stood there, the darkness of the river seemed to mirror the turmoil inside her. She was ready to give in to the emptiness that had consumed her life. As Emily continued to stare at the river, a sudden warmth surrounded her. It was subtle at first, just a faint glow in the distance, but as it grew stronger, she turned and saw an old woman walking toward her. The woman was framed in warm light, as if the very air around her was alive with hope. Her face was lined with years of experience, but her eyes radiated kindness, a calm wisdom that seemed to soothe Emily's troubled heart. The old woman's smile was gentle, and she walked slowly, deliberately, as if each step was a gift of peace. When she reached Emily, she stopped and placed a hand on her shoulder. "You are not alone, my dear," she said softly, her voice filled with warmth. Emily's heart fluttered at the words, a strange sense of comfort washing over her. For the first time in what felt like forever, she felt understood. The woman didn't say more, but the silent connection between them spoke volumes. The pain that had held her down began to lift, replaced by a sense of possibility she hadn't known in years. The old woman nodded toward the horizon, where the sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in hues of gold and orange. "This is just the beginning, Emily. A new chapter awaits you. Don't let the past define you. There is more to life than the darkness you've known." With those words, the woman turned and slowly walked away, disappearing into the mist that lingered on the bridge. Emily stood there, her heart lighter than it had been in months. She no longer felt alone. A sense of peace settled over her as she realized that hope had found its way back into her life. Emily pulled out her phone and, with a deep breath, typed a message to her brother. It was simple, but it felt like the first step toward healing. "I miss you. Let's catch up soon." As she hit send, a wave of emotion washed over her. She wasn't alone anymore. Slowly, one connection at a time, she began to rebuild the life she thought she had lost. Later that week, Emily met up with an old friend for coffee. They laughed and reminisced about the good times they had shared, and for the first time in months, Emily felt the warmth of friendship fill the empty spaces in her heart. That evening, she shared a meal with her family, their smiles and laughter reminding her of the love that had always been there. As the days passed, Emily began to see life in a new light. She took walks in the park, felt the sun on her face, and learned to appreciate the little things again. Slowly but surely, she was rediscovering herself. One afternoon, Emily walked down a quiet path, the setting sun casting a golden glow over the world around her. She stood still for a moment, taking in the beauty of the moment. The soft light made everything feel possible. The darkness of the past seemed to fade away as she took the first steps into her new life, filled with hope and endless possibilities.